This is a video chart presentation of Sunshine Biopharma. Sunshine is a bulletin board listed company trading under ticker SBFM. This is just after the opening bell. See 500 shares have traded today, holding right there at 50 cents. It's an interesting chart because it's holding this baseline pretty well, and one we want to keep on radar to see if this support level is going to hold. You can see a little bit of an upward trend in the MACD, making higher lows. It's not making higher highs though at this point. Gives the MACD a bit of a neutral look to it, but now you just pay attention to it, see if it's going to roll back through. See the histogram bars are still on top, telling you that the 12 EMA is riding on top of the 26. So just keep your eye peeled, see if it's going to put together a little bit more of an upward push and try and make some higher highs. The ADX is actually a little bit high right now, up around 50. With that negative DI on top, positive DI on the bottom, it's a good position for a reversal and for a chart to try and get a little bit of bullish strength to the direction. We talk about these large separations with the 7 pulling away from the 14 and the 21. That's going on right now with the MFI. So I'd have my eyes peeled for a bounce in the 7 because they don't like to stay separated like this for a long period of time. Clearly a nice look at the accumulation distribution, firm uptrend. That, of course, is also reflective of the Chaikin money flow. See primarily in the green over the course of this 9-month chart. Buying pressure has been overcoming selling pressure. CCI, you like to see push above zero. As with most indicators, you want to see it on the upper half. It's a much more bullish position. And you can see the CCI is having a tough time pushing through that zero mark, and something that I have my eye on to show a little bit more strength to the chart. Full stow looks like it's turning off a 50. That's a positive sign. And the tricks, kind of like the MACD, maybe a slightly lower low, but basically in a pretty neutral position right now. RSIs, all registering right there around 40. Again, what you look for is the push through 50 to show some more strength. You can see how difficult it's been for it since it fell right back through here from its highs around $1.45. A break through 50, especially with these golden red lines, the 14 and 21 RSIs, is a bullish indication of just strong momentum in the play. But we're just getting some sideways movement right now because the price per share is just basically trickling sideways, kind of trending between 50 and 60 cents. So everything's kind of running right along those lines. Sometimes you look at indicators, you'll see real strong divergences, which can help give you hints that it might break down or might break up. But we're not getting a lot in this case. So what you have to do is kind of come back and rely on the candles, which will set a support level there at 50 cents. It clearly does dip down to different levels. It should pick some up at 40. It should pick some up at a quarter or even 30 cents. But right now that 50 cents has established itself as a pretty strong support level. And that's what I'd be looking for to hold. Moving averages are starting to tuck together. As they continue to merge, that's when I'll be looking for a stronger move in this play. Much like many other indicators, moving averages don't like to trend side by side. What will happen is the Bollinger Bands will tighten up, moving averages will tuck together, and then typically a larger move one direction or the other will come. It doesn't tell you which way, it just tells you to look for a larger move. Volume has certainly picked up in this play. You can see it's still not a huge trading play. I'm assuming it has a relatively thin float. 100,000 shares is actually a pretty strong day for it. It's a bit of a double-edged sword because volume can take a stock like this and move it very quickly one direction or the other. So it's just one that you keep on a watch list and watch for any sort of movement because they can move fast if the volume starts to come in. From a resistance standpoint, you can see there's a real tight channel right through here, just over 50 cents, but I expect it to start to stiffen up around 60. That's where the 200-day moving average is. That's where the 50-day moving average is. And technically speaking, you want to see price per share, the candles, over top of those long-term moving averages. It's a much more bullish indication. And an upper end resistance I'd be looking for would be 75 cents right now. That's a multi-month high for it. And as I just mentioned, it has some key components to it with trying to get over top of the 50 and 200 day. Beyond that, you have to look right around $1, and then certainly that $1.45. But that's a little bit more down the road mentality. What I'd be looking for right now is this 50-cent mark, paying attention to that to hold, and seeing if volume comes in, if this chart's going to try and put together any sort of push, and potentially challenge its first resistance around 75 cents. It's an interesting chart, though, and we're going to keep on radar in the coming weeks to see where it goes from here. As always, this is merely my interpretation of the Sunshine Biopharma chart. Thank you for watching and trade smart.